Evening, Kyle.
I'm
How
all
are
right,
we doing?
David,
You
how are you?
okay? I'm really good, thank you. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thought it would be a good time to discuss your start as Lancaster City Ladies manager. Um, Practically perfect, unbeaten in 9, only 1 draw. How do you rate your start so far?
It's not been too bad. It's been good. It's a good start. We've had some games where we've been quite comfortable, and we've had just recently started to have games where we've been tested now, and we're having to show different sides of our game, dig deep, changing shapes a couple of times. But yeah, overall it's gone really well. Good start. Really happy with it.
I think in terms of results, I think the draw against Chorley on the 12th of October, that was like a bit of a, right, okay then, we're going to have to take this a little bit, take it up to the next gear, and then after that you scored 28 goals in 3 games, 7-2, 7-0, and a 14-1 win. Do you agree that the Chorley game, everything's moved up a gear?
100%. So the Chorley game was a bit of an eye-opener because we went into the game in really good confidence, doing really well, and then we went 1-0 up in that game quite early on, and we could have been 4-5-0 up. Then we had a sin bin, and then we had an injury to 2 key players. Obviously, Edie got sin binned at the time, and Talia got injured, and we was down to 10 for, like I say, 12 minutes roughly, and in that 12 minutes we just seemed to crumble, and before we know it, we're 3-1 down going into half time. So yeah, we had a bit of a word with him at half time. I think it's probably the first time we've told him a few home truths of how it's going to have to be, what we need to do. And we come back out and we went 4-3 up within 15 minutes. But fair play to Chorley. They're a young side, physical side, and I think the pitch suited them a little bit more than us. It was a bit heavy. It was a decent pitch, but not the best. And they come at us. And then before I know it, we're 5-4 down again, and we're equalising with, I think, 2 minutes to go, something like that. We're equalising again. So yeah, it was. But that was the turning point. I think they realised then a little bit, like you say, we had to do some things different.
And obviously this season, you've brought quite a few players through, young players who you've had in the youth setup of women's football. How have you found, how are they handling the move up to open age adult football?
Well, it's a funny one because they played at the highest level in the grassroots teams in the Super League for Preston with me and they played in that Super League for 3 years, and you were challenged against all elite sides, and you played some really good sides. So I think jumping to the open age wasn't really much of a challenge football-wise. It was just more going to be the physicality. So it's funny because teams automatically look at us and they think they're a young side, we could be pushed over. Then they see us and then they play against these 16-year-olds, and it's a totally different matter. They're hitting big challenges, they're beating the bigger girls, they're technically better than them, and the physicality's there straight away, and they don't like it. I think some of the teams have noticed that now. So yeah, they've settled for me. They've settled in really well. Like majority of them are in the starting lineup most weeks. But we're not, like I say, we've not just got them 16-year-olds from Preston. We've also got the 2 girls from Slime that are 16. So overall, when we look at our squad with average of a squad of about 22, I think we've got 10 16-year-olds, and they're all developing in their own little ways, and they're all really good, and they've settled in brilliant with the existing squad.
I was just about to ask, do you think, like you say, you've got usually have a squad of 22, and it seems like it's half the squad are first years in adult football, and you've got the other half who have been with Lancaster City Ladies now since they've been formed in 2022 and fully experienced at this level? Do you think that is also a benefit?
Massively benefiting, because like I say, we've got a balance. We've got, like I say, we've got 10 16-year-old girls in the squad. Then we've got a mixture of the mid-20s, late 20s, and then we've got some 30-odd-year-olds that are in there. So we've got the balance of everything, and I think the older ones protect them, and the younger ones look up to them, so it balances it quite right for me perfectly.
And do you think you've got the competitiveness? Obviously, you can't play 22 players. You can only pick 11 and then a bench. Do you feel it gives everyone the bit of that competitive edge to get into the starting 11?
This is what we said to him when we brought him in, and we said we'd have a big squad. You've not cemented your place. You have to challenge your place. If you're playing right back, for example, and there's 3 right backs, we can only play one of them, maybe have one on the bench. So you have to challenge. And then when you get your chance, we've explained. So when you get your chance, you've got to take it with both hands. You've got to bite that chance, and you've got to keep it if you can. And we haven't had any issues yet, really. We haven't, like we say, we've got 3 keepers as well. So we only take one. We don't even take a sub keeper because I just don't think we have to at our level. So you've got 3 of them fighting for one spot, and one of them is 16-year-old. So she's fighting a spot with 2 experienced goalkeepers, who one of them's been at the club probably even longer than 2022, and played for me previously, and so's Becca. So Darcy's got a big challenge there. But yeah, it's a perfect balance, and they have to dig deep. And the younger girls they thrive off wanting to dig deep and keep their place, and they're not bothered that they upset the older ones if they keep their place, because at the end of the day we're in it to challenge every aspect we can in all cups and leagues.
Did you mention they're challenging in the cups? I think we have to talk about last Sunday, beating West Didsbury and Chorlton reserves, no mugs from a higher division, and you've won 1-0. How do you think it went on Sunday?
It went really well. We trained on Thursday, and we set a game plan out Thursday, and the game plan wasn't what we went with in the end. The game plan a little bit was, but not fully. So when we went to the game on Sunday, I just said to the girls, listen, the Lancashire Cup's a bonus. If it's a League Cup or a league game, then we take it 100% serious. We do take the Lancashire Cup serious, but when you're playing teams that can be 2, 3 leagues above, 4 leagues above, it's potluck and it's a bonus. So we set our shape up on Sunday, and we just said, listen, let's have a go at them. Let's really have a go at them now. Take it to them. If the scoreline and we went 2 or 3-0 down, we'll change shape and we'll just compact ourselves, because we didn't want it to get silly. But from the start, we said, listen, we don't go and press them. Let them have the ball high, deep in their half. Sorry if they've got it. But once we've got it, let's express ourselves and get right at them and have a right good go. And to be fair, the girls executed the game plan comfortably. And speaking to a lot of people who we watched, we could have been 4-5-0 up at our time. We've hit the post. We've put 2 just past the post. And I think their keepers made 2 or 3 saves first half as well. Overall, in 90 minutes, Darcy's touched the ball once with her hands. Once our goalkeepers touched it. So I think the girls were absolutely brilliant from start to finish. Even the subs that come on, they will only probably, I think the most the sub got was 20 minutes, the rest of them were just a bit less. But they all dug deep, they all stayed into what we had planned and give it a right good go. And then to hear someone, one of their fans was saying that they'd come expecting to roll us over. So to hear that and to see the girls after the game, the whole atmosphere was just brilliant, and I think it just picked him up. Obviously, we could have done with a little bit of a better draw in the next round, but yeah, for this one, for now, we'll accept it. We'll really happy with it, and then obviously we have to go again on Sunday. But we enjoyed it.
I was going to mention the draw. Out of everyone you didn't want, it's probably the side who absolutely waltzed the league last season in Wigan Athletic. The only bonus being it's going to be in Lancaster. It's a challenge you'll be looking forward to.
It is a challenge we're looking forward to. And we have said this from the beginning. We want to challenge ourselves against the better sides. We want to be able to. I have to do that as a coach. The players have to do it as players. But yeah, it was one that we was thinking, just you go the other side of the draw. Stay away from us for now. But like you just said, the bonuses, it's at home. It's a home tie. They romped our league last year. They're romping the league above this year. I think they're winning like 14, 19-0 and stuff like that. So, and they're paying players, which is at our level, it's a bit of a shock. But I think the difference in the squads from last year to this year when we played Wigan, their squad's going to be better, but our squad's even better than what it was. So I think it's going to be a game. It's going to be a game to watch. But It's another one. We'll just take it game by game, and we'll come to it, and we'll have a look at it. We'll assess it. We'll put a game plan in place, and we'll see how we get. Don't think it'll be as attacking as we went yesterday, but yeah, we'll have a go as much as we can.
Right, so but that's not till the new year. So we'll focus on the league. It's 2 away games now to round off November. Lostock away on Sunday, who they're ninth on the virtue of goal difference. But the game after that on the 30th, it's away at AFC Bolton, who have only played 5 games, but they've won 3. So it's going to be 2 different games for you there. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so we've played Lostock a few times. Played in pre-season at their spot. We come out with a convincing win. Then we played them the first game. They give us a little bit of a shock in the opening 10 minutes, I think it was. But then once we settled, because it was first home game, it was on the 𝙤𝙨𝙘𝙗𝙗𝙗. We had a good crowd on. It was a nice day, and I think it just got to us a little bit at the occasion. So, but we know where their strengths are. After playing them, like I say, pre-season and first game of the season, we know where their strengths are. We know which shape we can get away with playing. So we'll train hard Thursday, and we'll look forward to it. But then, like you say, going into the Bolton game the week after, that's away again. We will have to be more organised because, like you said, they've won 3 out of 5. I think they was at the top of the league for a couple of weeks at the beginning. But you can all look at each other's scores and who you've played and who you're beating, and people are starting to beat each other now around in this league, and there's gaps starting to open, and we need to make sure that we're not in that where teams are beating each other. We need to make sure we focus on ourselves. We'll be looking to take maximum points out of them 2 games. If not, we'll have a next target in points out to take out of them 2. But yeah, we've got targets for the girls for the season, and at the minute they're in the target zones. They're ticking off all the targets that we've set them. So we will go there, and we'll look to take 6 points from 6 in the next 2, and hopefully go into December still top of the league and still unbeaten.
Definitely, and like you said, everyone's hitting the stats, and we noted last week out of the top 10 goal scorers, there's quite a few from Lancaster City Ladies. You know, 𝙁𝙬𝙘𝙚𝙗𝙚𝙗 didn't score as many as she wanted last season, but I think she's already beat her total for this season. And obviously Jodie Campbell and Penny Hudson-Mosley also getting in the goals as well.
Yeah.
Goals coming everywhere.
This is what we wanted to look at, because over previous years, for me, obviously 𝙁𝙬𝙘𝙚𝙗𝙗 and Jodie are probably 2 of the best players in the league, and they know where the net is for fun. So when you're relying on 𝙁𝙬𝙗𝙚 and Jodie all the time, and we've not got anybody else scoring goals, it's a lot of pressure on them 2. So then they put pressure on themselves, where I think if we watch them this year, especially 𝙁𝙬𝙗𝙚 and Jodie, they've got a little bit more freedom. They're more relaxed because people's chipping in. Edie's one of the 16-year-olds from Preston. She's a centre half, and I think she's on 6, maybe now, or 5, or maybe 7, I think, to be fair. Penny's chipped in with a few. We've got another young girl she's not scored in the league yet, I don't think, or she might have 1, but she's got like 4 or 5, including cup. So when you actually include the cup games, there's a lot of them with goals. So we've got goals from centre halves, we've got goals from full-backs, centre mids are scoring goals, and our strike force is scoring goals. So to have so many in the top 10 is really good for us. So it shows the differences we've got and how many goal scorers we've got, and it just shows how many chances we're creating, and the shapes that they're playing is making them create goals, which scoring goals, and now we've got, like I say, 5 or 4 of them in the top 10.
Right, that's the boring stuff out of the way. Talk to me about your Christmas party.
We're on best behaviour anyway.
Why?
If you look at the fixtures, David, we seem to have Penrith at home the day after.
So it's going to be a tame one.
It won't be. Put it one way, the time they went home last year, it won't be this year. And I was involved in the time last year. If I recall, I think it was about 4 o'clock in the morning, which is a little bit late for me at my age now. So this year they'll be expected to go home a lot earlier. So it's a good point having 16-year-old girls, because they can't drink. So they'll be going home respectively with their parents. So at least I'll have maybe 8, 9 girls that won't be rough. But I could still have a few sore heads. So the Christmas party is going to be good. We're looking forward to it. We're going to, obviously, we invite friends, families, supporters. We've invited all our sponsors. That obviously, if it weren't for them, we wouldn't have this team, and we wouldn't be able to have Christmas parties. So it's our way of inviting them and thanking them, and then obviously we put a raffle on and try and raise a bit of money to tick us over for the rest of the season.
So for anyone who doesn't know, when is the Christmas party?
Yeah,
Saturday
yes,
the 6th
at Lancaster
of
Cricket
December.
Club.
And what time does it
I'm
start?
going to say 7 o'clock.
7. 7 o'clock. And by the sounds of it, it's finishing at 8:30.
9:30.
9:30, right?
And that's not in the morning.
No. Right, we'll come to the end of the interview, Carl. Have you got a message for anyone listening? Encouraging getting down?
Like I said, we've said previously, the team's going places. Everyone's doing well. Everyone's pulling together. Like yourself, we're helping us a lot behind the scenes. Andy and Amy help us behind the scenes a lot. Charlotte does a lot for us. So we've got everyone guiding us in the right direction. Like Jimmy and Gav always ask how we're getting on, and they try and give us. We can go to them for advice if we need anything. So as a club, we want everyone to come down and watch us, but also as a ladies section, come down. Like I say, we tried to do the 200 target the other week, but obviously the weather let us down a little bit, and it wasn't the best. We didn't get the target, but we still got 100, I think 110 on. So it's not bad for us. I think yesterday at Willow Lane we had good crowds. So more and more people, even the people that watch the men's team, I think we had about 10 people who watch the men's team come down and watch the women yesterday who never usually watch us. So we're growing, so we just keep asking if people want to come and watch us and see what we're about, because you guarantee goals, you guarantee some good football.
Definitely.
And they'll work hard for the badge. They work hard for the badge because they enjoy representing it, and they just want to be successful, and we want the club to be successful. Whether it's men's, women's, juniors, JPL, we all want to be successful. So if we all run together and we all watch each other, the crowds will get bigger for us, and it'll get bigger for the men as well.
Thank you very much for joining me, Carl, today. It's much
David.
appreciated.
Cheers, pal.
Bye.